Now, as another Royal Rumble goes by, another great year. Many say this wasn't that good of a Royal Rumble. Many say it was mid. I think it was a pretty good Rumble. It might not have been the best, but it was good, especially the women's. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to start off with the women's Royal Rumble match. I think that this was a perfect match. One hands down the best women's Royal Rumble match so far. And one of the best Rumble matches, like including the men's. It was just as good as some of those men matches. And to be honest, this year it was a better match than the men's Royal Rumble match. And it was awesome. I mean, you have Bailey, who came in at number 3 and won it, which was Bailey was the perfect option. Got that prediction right. Also, it's great that you have Naomi. Naomi returned and she was at number 2. That was pretty good. But also, there was Jade Cargill. And I think WWE did perfectly with her. Having her eliminate Nia Jax. Like, making Nia Jax like irresistible force, as they call her. For Jade Cargill to eliminate her and make a name for herself as the person who eliminated Nia Jax. And she can continue that story. Maybe they have a feud. That might be good. Might. But I would like to see Jade Cargill go after some titles. That would be cool too. Anyways, you have the TNA World Champion in there. The TNA, not TNA World Champion, sorry. The TNA Women's Champion. You have a lot of good women in there. The R-Truth one was kind of funny. I mean, I don't know. But yeah. Also, there was one big flaw with the match. The fact that they had Liv Morgan at number 30. Now, I think Liv Morgan was a good 30. With all these crazy rumors of Sasha Banks, I knew it was too good to be true, but I wanted it to happen. I might not have believed it, but I wanted it. And that's the same with everyone. So, I think maybe Morgan should have been 28 and Jade Cargill should have been 30. Because I feel bad. Morgan's return didn't even get a pop really that much. So I feel like Jade Cargill, if we're going off everyone that was in the actual match and not people that weren't in, I think Jade Cargill would be a better 30. Also, it's just because WWE, like, they just basically made us think it, right? Like how number 30, the countdown ended, and there was just like a second of silence. Everybody was waiting for Sasha Banks' music to hit, and Liv's did. I know Liv Morgan returned, but it just wouldn't have been the same magic as Sasha Banks or anyone. It wouldn't have been the same magic as even Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill would have been great. I do also think that Bailey was the right option. Yeah, and Bailey can face either champion, but a feud with Io would be good. I'll be honest. Anyways, yeah. Aside from Liv Morgan at 30, they could have swapped that with Jade Cargill and had Liv Morgan at number 28. But other than that, it was a really good Rumble match. Moving on to the next match, the Fatal 4-Way match. Roman Reigns versus LA Knight versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles for the championship. And I'll be honest, this match was disappointing. What do I mean by this? Well, you had Randy hitting RKO's to everyone, right? And then Roman gets the final RKO, gets pinned, and then Solo pulls the ref out of the ring. Now, this normally is a cool thing, but it's just got so repetitive. Like, At Clash of the Castle, when Solo pulled the ref out of the ring and Solo made his main roster debut to join the Bloodline, that was cool. You were like, oh, who is this? But by now you're like, and there goes another ref being pulled, you know? Like the ref always gets pulled out of the ring. Like I wanted something new. And Solo, that was all Solo did. Then he tried to go for like a move through the barricade, and AJ Styles moved, and Solo was out for the rest of the match. So I feel like they really didn't have to put Solo in, and I feel like Solo just made the match worse. Now I watched one review from a content creator called Mr. Santi Zap, and he made a point, and I wanted to credit him because I really agree with it. He said that you advertise Roman Reigns as this, like greatest of all time. This is how WWE is presenting Roman to us. Yet he always had bloodline interferences. So maybe this could have been the night that Roman actually got a win without the bloodline. Now I think that was a great statement from Mr. Sandy Zap. I think he's really good. You should check him out. And I just think that Roman, he could have got this clean win, Roman deserves a clean win because he's supposed to be the best in the WWE, yet he can't get a win without the bloodline. He never could win any match without the bloodline is basically what we're learning, because Roman keeps getting pinned but the ref isn't in the ring, or the ref gets pulled out of the ring, or the bloodline does any shenanigans. So to be honest, it got really repetitive and I didn't like it, and I feel like they could have actually had Roman get a clean win. Roman did retain, and yeah, it was also the match didn't go on nearly as long as I thought it would be, and they only introduced the steel chair when I really wanted tables. And yeah, the match could have been a lot better, and I think they could have gave it more time. So yeah, that's my opinion on that match. The next match, oh yeah, by the way, I got the prediction right that Roman won. And the next match is Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. I think, even though I did predict KO to win, I still think this was probably the best alternative ending to KO winning. Because maybe they have this feud repeat, especially after, I love what Pat McAfee said, the ref finally got 20/20 vision. When KO went for the cover, the ref saw the brass knuckles on KO's hand after Logan tried to use them. KO stole them, hit Logan, but the ref saw it right before he hit the mat for 3. It was a good finish. It was a clever finish. And I think it's perfect because this sets up for different matches down the line, right? You set up for a next match against them. Maybe this ends, or maybe Logan Paul has an entirely different opponent, and then at Mania they have a second match. Just like something like that. But yeah, I think this was maybe a better finish than KO winning, just because you can give Logan, you can keep this star with the title. Also, some big news: Logan Paul has re-signed with the WWE, and his contract is a little bit more of a full-timer contract. Not a complete full-time contract, but not a part-timer. He's like in the middle of part-timer and full-timer. So hopefully, now that he's the U.S. champ and he's defended, maybe he'll defend a little bit more on Raw or SmackDown, because he's like in the middle of part-timer and full-timer compared to what he was part-timer. Also, this was a really good match, and I liked it. So yes, I didn't get this one right, but I think I can't speak. WWE had a clever finish to that match. The next match is the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, I think a lot of people say this was a bad match, but it definitely, it could have been better, but it could have been worse, like 2015 or 2022. If you watch those, you'll agree. It could have been worse. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. 6 or 7 out of 10, not even 7. Like a 6 to 6.5 out of 10, depending on what you like. Now, I think this was a great start with Jay being number 1 and Jimmy number 2, and Grayson Waller saying, like, yeet is cringe. I mean, I guess that was good. The only thing I liked was Grayson Waller saying, acknowledge yeet. That was pretty funny. I think Grayson Waller was funny. Andrade's return was great. It was awesome. And I feel like the first 5 were setting up to have it be a great match. Until it got to the teens, when the match really fell off. They were doing random guys. And then also early 20s, like Pat McAfee. I would have rather Brock Lesnar take his place. And also, I was kind of hyped for Pat McAfee. So I'm kind of upset that excuse me. I'm kind of upset that they just had Pat McAfee get terrified by Omos and Braun Breaker, which those two were great choices to be put in the Rumble. But I'm just upset that Pat McAfee didn't really get a showing that he definitely deserved. And I wanted to see him hit a move or two. That would have been cool. Anyways, Punk was 27. Clever WWE. The second highest number. The number with the second most wins at it. And you had Cody Rhodes, number 15. And this Cody Rhodes was like Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. The crowd was jamming, singing to his song, and everyone was behind Cody. And I love it. I will point out one good thing. Number 30 was not Punk, because I was tired of seeing number 30 win. Because in 2022 it was Brock, 23 it was Cody. So it's good that number 30 did not win the Rumble this year. And also, all the stuff about MJF returning. I feel like the men's Rumble had too high of expectations. Now, I know I did say that MJF could return, but, I mean, it was just because I didn't have anyone else to put at 30. Realistically, I knew he would never come back. I mean, he would never go to the WWE, and also he was injured. But it was a cool thought. I feel like Sammy coming in at 30 was really good, but the crowd wanted MJF, so they weren't that hype. Also, that leads to another thing. The crowd was kinda dead. I don't know, I'm sorry. The crowd was just dead. And it wasn't dead, but it wasn't as hype as it could have. And then people are like, there's not enough surprises. I understand that people like surprises, and I do too. But since the rosters of men's and women's have been so stacked, it was great that they had more main roster people, But let's talk about the finish. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk in the final 2, where Cody would go on to win after about 15 minutes. Maybe a few more minutes. Now, I think, controversial opinion here, but I think in this final, Cody was the right pick. Because if you saw Punk was tired. As Cody coming in at 15 would beat Punk. And they almost tried to do something with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker that they did in the '07 Rumble. There was like a mini match at the end. And it was good, but I feel like Cody and Punk were a little too slow. And to be honest, Cody was kind of carrying it. Cody had energy. Cody was doing it all. And to be honest, the shot of Cody pointing to Roman with the WrestleMania sign behind him after Cody won the Rumble was just like such a good shot. And I feel like Cody was the right winner. The sets up for Cody versus Roman too, which Cody should definitely win. But yet again, like, what happens if they don't want Roman to lose? They can't bury Cody for 2 years in a row. They can't have Cody win 2 Rumble matches in a row, and both years he loses. They can't do that. But like, another thing is Vince. Vince probably wanted Roman to beat Hogan, right? Hogan's streak that probably Roman will get in September. But now it's Triple H, and Triple H might want to end Roman's streak, and I want it to end too. But yeah, Cody won the Rumble for the men's, Bayley for the women's, Logan won in a DQ, and Roman retained. I was 2 for 4, and also, by the way, my dog Lucy. I asked her, and I did one of those things where like you do the toys, and she predicted Cody to win, and she got it right. So shout out to Lucy. She's a dog that can predict Royal Rumble matches, I guess. Anyways, I feel like people are upset about the men's match because the women just went off. The women had a classic Royal Rumble match. The women had like an all-time classic. But overall, it was a good event. I liked it. Not everybody did. But to me, it was a good show. And it was a good start to the road to WrestleMania.